I swear this music is really quiet for some reason. That was perfect. How's everybody doing? Hmm. Oh, adorable little picture I just saw. Oh god. Alright, so we are going to be probably painting up some gobos. I can't tell if I'm louder than I should be. I'm just trying to get my phone a little bit of a jump before we get into this. Alright, I'm just going to wait for a few more people to come in before we get going. I'm just trying to get the camera charged before we get too far into this. Alright. That is up. And for some reason, crows are out. Oh, fuck, I forgot to order blue. I forgot to put her iguana on her thing last week. Oh, look, I didn't take pictures. Alright. You're gonna sit over here now because I didn't take pictures of sure. Magical beats. Meat. Meat. Alright. are these doing? 'Cause I need... Oh, shit! I need to order new gloves. Fuck. Like I said, I'm trying to wait for the phone to charge a little bit so you're all just kind of hearing me get things slowly set up. Sorry, I gotta reorder 2 things. Was it 2023 I ordered that stuff? I think so. Okay. Shit. Well, fun thing I just realized. I'm out of glue. Shit. Or do I put it somewhere and I just don't see it? Alright. Well, we can paint up the girl, whichever girl we paint up tonight, maybe both. But we can't assemble. Shit. When the hell did I forget? That was literally on my list. Oh, right, because my hobby shop doesn't sell that brand. Alright, I've got more glue coming Friday, so we'll finish these up. We'll finish what we can up. Alright, screw it. Alright. Camo up and running. Hi, Rachanka. How you doing, sweetie? I am kicking myself because I forgot to buy some stuff last week. So, we're going to be able to paint stuff, but we can't assemble. I mean, I could go grab a Gundam model I have on backlog, but somebody's borrowed my clippers right now, so I can't even do that. Alright. Yeah, I just realized I forgot to buy my preferred super glue. And I was like, oh crap, where is it? Because I found the cap, and I'm like, wait, that's not the cap I need. And this stuff isn't gonna work. But we could at least paint, so there's that. Alright. So we gotta paint up our little Witchy Gabo and our Druid. The Witch is gonna be easy, I just need to figure out how we're gonna paint up certain details. The Druid, I'm still on the fence about if I want to paint her how Ronan painted her up, or if I want to try doing my own stuff there. She's the only one who's not really talking to me right now, model-wise. Ah, shit, no! Yeah. But if anybody would like to join the Discord call, go ahead. If not, we'll get into painting in just a second. Because I forgot to do one little thing. Where did you put it, Shiny? There. I have a commission coming in from a few people that use a similar model, so I need to get the files ready. But I need proof of purchase from one of them before I can even think about it. can't download that right now. I just need to download the one that Shiny wants later. Sorry, I'm trying. I just had something stupid come up that I need to now do. Oh, I need to do your Urabosa this month. Next, I need to do Gaz's Urabosa. Okay, is that everything? Alright. Models are ready to go for that situation. I will probably after stream get that going. I'm pushing it off. Oh, I have one more interesting thing. So over on TikTok, of all random companies to contact me, Nick Pro, who is the same company that pretty much makes the brushes I currently use, asked if I wanted to review on one of their new, basically this year's kit. At first I was kind of like, maybe not, and then I saw the kit came with dry brushing brushes, and I was just like, listen, I can already... Yes, I have an Urabosa. I have an Urabosa mod like imprint. And the best part is, she's holding up a normal dude by his shoulder, and I'm just like, death by Snoop Snoop. God. It's a safe for work model, so it'll be done over here when I print it. Alright. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Rajanka, it's the Gerudo chieftain from Breath of the Wild. Oh, right, I also gotta do these. I also gotta see which ones of these this month I want to print. Because there's a really cool looking red writing that I need to do. I need the witch. Where's the witch? Well, we did paint them. Oh, and we do have a purple now. Did Didn't we do one's eyes purple already? No, we did the shield purple. Right. Okay, her outfit's actually, interestingly, a lot of blues. Dark blues, but they're still blues. So... funny enough, I think we're going to use this High Lord blue. We're going to use High Lord blue. I'm thinking we're going to use... I need to reorganize. We're going to use some Corvax white for her outfit, for the fluffy bits on her outfit. Her eyes are going to be purple. Her magic is going to be... you know, it's kind of pinkish. Ah! Speaking of the Gabo. And then I think I want to make something on her, something else on her glowy other than her eyes. I think we're going to keep the mushrooms the plasmatic blue. Actually, we're going to make her magic red. Just because I just bought this and I want to play around with it. Her hair is interesting, though. Do I have a blue close to that?
Emotional damage.
What'd you do, Shiny? I just realized I have a model I don't have that I can use dry brushing on properly. To try those out. I might have something. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. See, I almost feel like what it's gonna be is we're gonna paint her outfit blue, but then we're gonna probably come in with a blue wash to darken it, but we're going to keep her hair... you know, these might be different enough. Let's look at the new box. Let's look at the new box. There you are. What's up?
Not much. Trying to figure out something to, or figure out what to put where on this Gobbo Ranger.
Hmm.
Can't tell if that's fucking bone or if that's like a gold like belt buckle or something.
Which model?
Twin Goddess, June release, I think, either June or May, one of the two. It's the Gobbo with the bow. Got a cloak around the neck.
Hmm.
It looks like a skull to me, but I don't want to paint it bone white and have it be something fucking else.
Well, I mean, it's a goblin. I would not be surprised if she was wearing a person's skull as part of her outfit.
Yeah.
Heck, one of these girls, I think she has a skull part of her outfit. Almost all of them have bones on them in some way, shape, or form. And initial reviews of the Nico Pro set that I was just sent. It paints about as well as the Nico Pro set. So
I'm looking forward to seeing how you get that Bowsette printed off.
I'll probably do just the regular, the regular safe for work one. It not safe for work has to like stand out. The not safe for work Blue Twitch models have to stand out and make me go, oh yeah, that would look great as a Blue Twitch model.
Yeah, well, it's Jiggly Sticks.
Well, it's Jiggly Sticks, but it doesn't all like I said. It has to be a model that screams. Yeah, do the not safe for work variant.
Yeah, it'll be a better print for a Blue Twitch night.
No, what I'm saying is I'm probably gonna do the safe for work. The safe for work one is more obvious what it is. The safe for work one is more obvious what it is. It's not safe for work one. It's like, oh, it's a goblin stopping on a chain chomp.
Yeah.
The safe for work one, she's wearing the Bowsette dress. She's got the. I think she has the horn and everything. She has the horns and everything in the not safe for work variant.
Mhm.
It's just, well, she doesn't have the dress, so it's like, okay.
It's still a pretty model.
Well, pretty model, yeah. It's Jiggly Sticks.
But by the way, did Macron get a hold of you yet, or?
They have. They just haven't contacted me about. They've contacted me about certain stuff. I told them they have to. This is the rule that's always been. I just let return customers slide sometimes. You have to have proof that you bought the model.
Yeah, and I told them that. I was just, I told them the only reason why I get away with it is because I'm a fucking mod.
You're a return customer.
That and I can't. My card won't let me buy the STL, so.
You could set up. You can do it with PayPal.
But yeah, and I pay you ahead of time, so I buy you a bottle of resin, so.
Well, bottle of resin works is you're supposed to actually buy me a bottle of resin.
Yeah.
You usually just
again,
pay me, and I usually just go, well, fine, I was gonna probably paint it anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, BRB.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing for anybody who has commissioned me. If you're a return customer, if you are a trusted return customer, you will more than likely get like certain leniencies. But all first-time customers, I need to have proof that you bought the models. Saves me hassle and saves you hassle. Alright, let's see how close in color these two are. Well, they might actually be different enough. Okay, I'm just happy enough that they're different enough blue that I can darken this one up and it'll look pretty damn close to on model. Fair enough. Alright, let's let this dry up a little bit, and then I'm going to start working on the gold lining. Actually, let's do the yellow threads. Oh, apparently she's wearing gloves. I don't give a shit. forgot to do her glasses. Her glasses are black frames in this, in that default picture, but I think gold frames just fits how I paint things usually around here. Well, I know what that goes to, so we're going to have to put that aside. Like I said, unfortunately, we won't be able to paint, glue this girl up. But we can at least get her all going. You know, it's gotta be pink. It's like love hearts and stuff, it's gotta be pink. Shit. song sounds familiar and I don't know why. Oh god. Oh god. Excuse me. Sorry. Well, it's coming out about how I was hoping it would. I feel another part of her needs to have something on it other than just her purple eyes. I'm squeezing too much out, son of a bitch. Alright, I have an idea for what to make glow on her. We're not making the panties glow. It'd be funny. Actually, it might be funny. Aww. Fair enough. And I forgot to do the little things on her hat to make them glow too. happen, Alice. Yes. Very good. She glows. Alright. So that's that one done. Now I gotta figure out how the hell we're painting up this. I think I answered my own damn question. She's got all this blue that looks like the glowing blue that we've got here. Her hair's white, but it's like off-white, so it's gonna be like Korvax white. Her eyes are glowing blue, so it's gonna be the same blue for her eyes. So we're just gonna say her magic is what's making her outfit glow. Her outfit is matte white, which we already have out, and we have a little bit out already. The skull is made of metal, funny enough. And then there's apparently a gourd floating around here. I don't know where it went. Yeah, the gourd fell off. Fine. got like this little tube top on. This makes it super easy. God damn, okay. Why didn't I do her first? Oh, even better, I didn't even notice that. Ow. You know, I said I wanted to play with the red. No. Sorry, I'm just in one of those moods where I'm just like, ooh, I know what I'm doing now. She's finally clicked, and it's just like, ah, yes, this is how I want it. Alright, we're gonna do my Korvax white now so we can do her hair right. What now, Rajanka? Yes, Rajanka, you say something very serious and then it's just kind of quiet. Hmm. Alright. Almost surprisingly done really fucking quick, which is... Yay! That means I gotta find something to do for an hour. Because I only have about 30 minutes left of painting stuff. Are you to the point now where I can start painting your laces and shit? Tajanka, honey. What's wrong? How are we looking? We gotta do her eyes, which are blue. But I just want to see if everything else is glowing. Alright, initiate. Yes, this sounds great on the mic, doesn't it? Something seems to be messed up. To be fair, this one has always been a pain in my ass. To be fair, it's not really that I have patience, it's just... Okay, it is a little bit of a mixture of patience. It's just also practice. Because my hands do every once in a while shake. It's just not very obvious. I do know some people who are... I've actually seen some people who are really amazing painters who have like really bad handshaking. To be fair, we're also doing speed painting. Oh, sweetie, part of me... See, unfortunately, my ADHD is all of the above. I know a decent amount about cars. I know a decent amount about a lot of weird things. Yeah, well, okay, so to be fair, as long as they've got a primer coat on them, that's all that really matters, because your characters are always going to change how they look. Unless you're trying to go for something specific, or you know your characters aren't going to really change armor very often, it's fine. Yeah, that Belcher will do. Yeah, I have no... I have nothing to... No! Wait, does it actually have some kind of hair thing going on? Kinda, weirdly. Fair enough. Yay! Where the fuck did it go? Not what I'm looking for. Or did I... No. No. There's a specific color I'm looking for when I see it. No. Yeah, it does look more interesting. To be fair, one of the reasons I'm looking like I'm doing really well is because I'm using my cheater paints. And really, all you have to do with cheater paints, if you're not thinning them down, is to just go as light as possible. Yeah, no. So that's why I keep my drink out of. I keep my drink purposely out of reach of the water, so I have no choice but to reach away from the water to get my drink. Because I will do it one of these days, and I will tell you how to taste the rainbow. Taste the rainbow, Redjanka. Yeah, no, paint water is not tasty whatsoever. I am a professional brush licker. Which means if I don't dry this off just enough on the towel that I have here on my leg, I will get a taste. I just don't react to it because it's like I have done it so many times, I know how bad it tastes. Somebody out there has a sticker, and I need to find it. Okay. How is the head looking? Yay, it's coming along very well. Like I said, unfortunately we can't assemble them tonight. Oh, sweetie, honey, trust me. I'm not trying to. Apparently this is gold. Yeah, I was about to say Azel. Azel? Yeah, or is Azel? Or yeah, Azel. I'm using cheating paints, and also I don't have it up so you guys can see what I'm doing. I have on my other screen over here. I have over here on my other screen. I have a reference to what these girls are supposed to look like, and I'm kind of winging it and adding my own flair. Which is why they all have... I don't know if it's showing up on here. It's going to look really fucking weird in pink. Actually, this one will probably be the better one. So if you notice, when they're insert... This is a black light. Sorry if I blinded you all. So all of these figures are going to glow in black light. In fact, here I can show you what the other two look like, since they're already complete. And they also glow in the dark. I need to figure out what I'm going to put on her, because I need more than what she's got on her right now glowing. Oh wait, I know what I'm going to do. Okay. Yes. Okay, is this gonna look how I'm hoping it looks? Yes, it does. I could bring a little orange in. In fact, I'm going to, because it's going to almost give it a lava effect. Maroon Fang? Where's Maroon Fang? We gotta fix that because that's a little too much orange. Okay, do you look better now? Much better. So when the light is off, it looks kind of more like it's a rusted blade. When it starts glowing, it looks like it's almost like a lava effect. Yay! Or can I do this? Yeah. Subtle, almost rusted, looks like something a Gobbo would just pull out of the junkyard. Potentially cursed blade. Potentially cursed battle axe. Okay, let's see if I can do something subtle here. She wasn't glowy enough for me, so I just realized it's like, hey, I have an idea. We're just using it as a glaze. We're not trying to actually do anything like changing the color of the hair. go. She's got more depth now. Subtle, doesn't look much like her hair has changed too much. And then when she's in the darkness, it looks like she's raging towards you. I'll take it. And now for the thing that's going to make this skull look even better. I need this to look... So what's going to happen is, what we just did is we just darkened up the metal. But it's also going to make the eyes, in theory, when it's actually darker, those eyes are going to pop. Which they are kind of doing it now. So that's kind of what I wanted. Alright. And I fucking called it. I knew I was going to have to figure that out. So this would be the point normally where I would start assembling these girls and then I would show all four off and be like, look, ta-da! Unfortunately, I forgot to buy super glue. And I have nothing right now that will let me show off this new kit I got. But already from just using this one brush, this is a very nice kit. I need to find something to play with these because these are the brushes I wanted from this kit. Because these are the brushes that when you use them, if you use them right, you can make your model go from looking to, there's actually some interesting character. Those are dry brushing brushes. And the gloves are off, which means I've got to redo my nails. Yeah, I've really got to redo my nails. Ew. Ew, I've really got to redo my nails. I didn't realize how bad that was. My work fucks them up. Which is funny, because this hand's not so bad. Ooh, well, I know what we're going to do in a little bit, because I'm not ending the stream just yet. But thank you, Rajanka. So, unfortunately, Azel, I don't have the ability to show off these models completed. That being said, I'll probably, once the glue gets here on Friday, I'll probably glue them all up. And then I'm going to post pictures on pretty much on Twitter and Discord and everywhere. So that'll be fun. The question now is, what the hell are we going to do now? I could... There's a couple of things we could do. The obvious is we can go look for some ghost videos and go, ooh, spooky. Oh wait, look, it's a string. I would say finish Pikmin, but we're kind of at that point where I'm like, eh. Hello, Nost.
Hello.
Technically, I finished the Gobos just before you joined.
I'm sorry, just give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I just finished I just finished the painting part of the Gobos that I was starting to stream for.
Oh.
But the problem is, guess what I forgot to buy? I have the accelerant, I don't have the super glue.
Oh no.
Yep. Because the stuff was starting to go dry on me, so I threw it out not thinking of it, and I'm like, oh, I'll probably end up at the hobby shop in the next couple of days. I went there today.
And completely forgot.
Yes, but here's the thing. I also remembered my hobby shop, for some reason, they don't sell my preferred... They don't prefer the super glue that I like to use. Because the stuff I like to use, it might not be the smallest nozzle kind, like the GW stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this stuff, it's specifically by the company BSI. It's their... Shit, let me go see it, because I had to buy it on Amazon. Why would I click on Amazon Jobs?
Because technology hates you.
It is specifically the MaxiCure Extra Thick. Yes.
Extra thick.
Yeah. I specifically get it for the MaxiCure. So it's cures in 10 to 25 seconds, and then with the accelerant, it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, you would be shocked at what I normally use.
What is it like? I think the Instacure I've used too. I've used the. I just saw the BSI. They have their Instacure stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember if that's the stuff. I know it's the I know it's the pink one, which is the MaxiCure, I think.
Well, okay. You ever heard of the original super glue?
I've used it a few times. I bought the 99-cent store version of that bottle.
Yeah, I bought a pack that comes with 12, and I still have plenty of them. I use that and Crazy Glue. Worked for me perfectly, because 9 out of 10 times I never have to, like, I do a dry test before I apply it, and it does wonders for me. But I'm not building fancy models like you are.
I'm building stand-ins for D&D and Warhammer. Most of the time, well, okay, so you do, so I do paint the fancy models, which somebody complimented and said I paint the big models better than I do the little models. I'm like, no shit. Like, I'll take the compliment, yes, but it's like, well, no, duh. It's like it's a lot easier to put paint on faces when you can actually like see the details of the face.
Yeah, I'm right now. I am working on some Chaos Chosen.
Ooh. Funny enough, you just remind me. The reason I went to the shop today, well, first off, roommate wanted to go, so I was like, okay, let's go. The reason I went to go, I was gonna see, because I'm getting very close to the 350. So, if on my Twitch right now, I have a follower goal. I have 2 follower goals. I have the normal it's like 250, 350, 450. At those, I get to paint a community model.
Oh, cool, cool.
The other follower goal I've got right now, which is the one that's going to happen at 400, if we hit 400 by the end of the year, I'm going to do an ASMR stream.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you look into Show Me Your Minis, you should see something interesting.
Sorry, Rajanka, by the way, what's your suggestion? Ooh, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the reason I was going to the hobby shop, getting back on track, I was looking for the Guardsman Combat Patrol.
Ooh.
Now, I think I've mentioned this idea a couple of times on the stream. My intention is, I don't know what the limit will when we will stop it, but at some point I intend to start a Guardsman army where it's going to be every figure is named after a follower. Now, that being said, I'm going to be cheeky sometimes and buy a tank, and that's an excuse to put like 5 to 10 names on it, depending on the tank. Like, I got a Rogel Dorn tank, and I think canonically it holds anywhere from 3 to 6 people in it, depending on who you ask.
Right.
So that's going to be the moderator's tank.
Moderator tank.
I don't remember if you've seen the Rogel Dorn. I'm not hooking the camera back. I'm not going to go grab it and hook up the camera.
No,
But-
I've seen the Rogel Dorn.
Yeah. Well, my Rogel Dorn.
I'm not in stream.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
why I said I
watching.
would have to go. Well, no, I didn't paint it on stream. I painted it on stream like last year.
Oh, okay.
Dude, don't worry about that. Actually, it was even longer than that. Oh no, it was last year. Yeah, because the Rogel Dorn came out last year.
Nice. Yeah, it did come out last year. Actually, you want to know a little fun fact about all of those images I just showed? So for those that aren't in the Discord or anything like that, I was showing our dear little succubus here some works of my Slaves of Darkness. The Ogroid Theridans. If you noticed how some of them have darker skin tone, one has a little bit of a lighter skin tone, but all of their hair is different tones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so each one of them is based off of me, my cousin, and my brother.
Yeah, I actually just pulled it up on stream so people could see.
Oh, wait, what?
I just turned on my desktop mode so people can see. People can also see all my Discord servers and wonder like what some of them are. Like, what the fuck are those? Don't ask.
The Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, I wanted to do a twisted version of Green Knight, so I tried to do his lance and the pendant on his right shoulder, right on the right chest side, to look like green marbled stone.
You know what you could do to make him look even more like the Green Knight?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So mine isn't working very well anymore because I think it's just the pigment in it isn't doing what it's supposed to. But Tesseract Glow, if you have any of that, has a fluorescent effect to it. So what you do is you thin it down and then just lightly put it on so it would just get into like the cracks and stuff of his armor. So then when you hit him with a black light or something, you just see the pops of green coming through on him.
I've never done that. I'll have to look into that.
If you can get your hands on green fluorescence, because I found out, like, P3 Pro Acryl has some, Vallejo has some, and Army Painter has some. Because they all three now do it. Because I'm like, oh, so all the gobos I've been painting up lately, the 4 gobos, I've been using them as an excuse to kind of play around with the fluorescent colors.
Nice.
So they all have like glowing eye. They have different colored glowing eyes. The blue one, the one who's wearing a witch outfit, her magic stuff is glowing pink. She's got like glowing, like parts of her clothes glow in the dark too. The barbarian has an axe that looks like it's rusted right now, but when you turn on the black light, it looks like it's like lava.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. So that's the thing. Even if you didn't hit it with a black light, if you did that where you took like a fluorescent green but thinned it down and used it more like a wash and got it into the cracks and stuff on that armor,
Yeah.
it would be like you would still have the black armor, but then every once in a while you'd see that little crackle of green inside it. Looking like it's sort of like some sort of like dark chaos. In this case, I would say Nurgle energy, just because Nurgle's green, but...
Well, the reason I did it the way that I did it is because I had this idea of his tribe giving him an heirloom to go forth with, something that they made.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to just do a green marble. Like, I don't know why. I had some people go, "Why the fuck did you make it into a stone?" And I was like, "Why the fuck not?"
To be fair,
I was like,
slaves to darkness and chaos. Just because it looks like it's stone doesn't mean it actually is stone.
well, the other crazy thing is, has nobody ever paid attention to the movie Stardust? Like, have you ever seen the witches with the glass weaponry? Holy shit.
Oh, is that the one? Yeah.
That is scary as hell. But,
Took me a second. I was like, Stardust. I was like, oh yeah, that one.
oh yeah, the one, the one that Robert De Niro was playing, burlesque.
Yeah. Well, it's based off of another book, and they just made a TV show based off of that same book series.
Are you? But why? I love the movie.
The movie was good,
I
but
wish.
the book, I think it was one of those things where they just, because everybody's trying to compete with Game of Thrones right now, so they all have to find those book epics that are like 10 books long.
Look, to me, okay, I'm going to say this, and for the Game of Thrones fans, I'm sorry. You don't need to compete with Game of Thrones. I've read.
Nobody cares. The only people, everybody who reads books is happy because it's like, more books are getting turned into TV shows, and they're actually getting like. Rajanka, I was trying to look for the fucking special edition books I have.
Look,
Because Rajanka just went, "Who gives a damn about Game of Thrones?" And I'm like, honey, I have the version of Game of Thrones books where they're using like, it's pleather, but it's supposed to be like a leather-bound binding.
Look, the books are fine, but I'm not a huge.
The books are fine because you get some cool shit like Lady Stoneheart, which we got like a very dumbed-down version of with
True,
Arya.
but the thing is too, though, is that to me, the man, he'll never finish it. He will never finish the series.
There's a College Humor sketch that kind of perfectly sums up what everybody thinks happened. He made a deal with the devil where it's just like, I get to live forever, but it's like, I get to live as long as I want, but once I finish the books, I die. And the devil gets to go, well, your story's finished. Well, no, the TV show's done. My books aren't done yet.
Well,
to be fair, I think he wrote himself into his corner, and he basically wanted to see what would happen how people would react to the ending he was planning, and everybody was like, "This fucking sucks," and he's just like, "Shit."
Well, that and him talking massive smack about Tolkien,
Here's the thing,
and
he
I'm
didn't
like,
actually. Everybody thinks he did, but then like 5 minutes later, he's complimenting everything he did. It's the fact is that what he talks about. Everybody hears like the one part where he talks about how having distinct good and evil characters is boring, but then he talks about how influential and how great Tolkien's writing actually is. He talks about this. That's the part. One part everybody makes fun of him about is that what he says, and it's like he goes. He basically, it's like, yeah, he doesn't insult him. It's just everybody thinks he did with that one line.
well, still, I tried getting into the books. I'm, to each their own. I will say that to each their own.
The problem is, the books are those stupidly thick books. The best way to read them is an audiobook.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately the best way to read those books, especially the guy he had reading them, because unfortunately the guy passed away. But the guy he had reading them, it sounds like it's some old maester, or well, wizard in this case, or old maester in this case, reading this book to like students. Because he's doing like the voices of the characters, and you can tell he's been reading these books for too damn long because he keeps changing the voices towards a certain point.
Yeah, I heard someone doing that with the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah.
And I mean,
to be fair,
personally,
the Lord of the Rings books are even worse when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's like, yes, because people forget it took them 10 fucking. It's like it took them like almost 10 years, I think, to get. No, it wasn't 10. I know it's like months. It took them, at least.
Yeah, but I always loved the Lord of the Ring books.
Yeah.
I've read them
I didn't
back
say
to
they're
back.
bad. I'm just saying it's like, yeah, they have the same problem as Martin does, where it's just like, get to the fucking plot point. We don't need to know about every fucking meal and about every other fucking goddamn thing.
Yeah, actually, that's what I loved about it.
Well,
Because I got to understand.
His problem, that's Martin's problem.
Oh.
Martin, when he does the amazing action scenes, they're amazing. But then you have to sit through certain scenes where it's just like, I get it. You're building the world. You're making us really interested in this world so that we can understand it.
Well, yeah.
But there's a certain point where it's like, you could show and not have to tell.
Well, that's what I always loved, though, is I loved to create
with Tolkien,
worlds.
with Tolkien, when you remember this, Tolkien was writing those books. We nowadays get to read the books in their entirety. When you were reading those books originally, you were reading them one chapter at a time. Whenever he would put them in stuff, there was like a couple of magazines for like, I forget how long it was. He was putting them like a chapter at a time in this like magazine. So he had to explain stuff and he had to build up.
Yeah.
Martin, on the other hand, releases the entire goddamn book in one time. I'm like, you are not Herbert. You are not Herbert, where you have to basically explain that. It's like, oh yeah, humans now have the ability to like do psychic shit, but only when they're taking this one drug. But also there's this other drug that makes them like, if they're mentats, it makes them think even faster, like super, like you're overclocking your computer. But then we're never going to mention it again. But the movie's going to reference the one fucking scene where the character takes it. Sorry, the original Lynch movie is going to reference it.
The fun times.
Yeah, that scene where the guy goes... It's the weird poofy hair dude in the Lynch movie. where he's doing that weird mantra before he takes that blue drug. That's the drug that makes mentats think like they're overclocked. That's the interesting thing about Lynch versus the new one. Lynch was willing to like put a lot of the really weird shit in.
Well,
It's Lynch.
that's true too.
It's Lynch. You just have to say that it's Lynch. I don't even have to go on an explanation route. It's like it's Lynch.
Yeah, it's fine. The
It's
moment
like,
you
hey,
say
this is
that,
the guy
nobody.
who made Eraserhead. Trust me, we get it.
You have a thing for fallacy.
To be fair, Eraserhead is basically, depending on the theory, because it's never been confirmed, the guy didn't want a kid, so that's what he saw the kid as.
Sorry, I'm putting my paint brushes up right now because legs are starting to give out, so I need to take a break. I will lay here and chat with you.
Has to leech on the big belly. Yep. Rajanka, here's the thing. Getting back to that conversation, he doesn't necessarily copy Tolkien. He pokes at him. He's trying. That's the one thing I'll give Martin. He's trying to build his own universe without basically going hobbits and grobbits and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well.
Like, if there were orcs and stuff like that, they've been long gone since then. The
Fair enough.
the equivalent to fairy folk, they're dying out. You could almost say that the Game of Thrones universe takes place way in the far future of Lord of the Rings, because the whole point of Lord of the Rings, by the time we start reading the books, by the time the books start to happen, we're in an age where magic is dying. Like, Gandalf and them are the only ones who are still really powerful because they've been around since like the first or second age. This will tell you how much I do actually like Game of Thrones, how much I actually like Lord of the Rings. I know shit like that. That's why I'm telling you I don't disagree. It's like there are times where it's like, Tolkien, we get it. Your world building, get to the point. It's like,
Yeah, but see.
it's like, hey, we get Tom Bombadil as the self-insert character, and his wife is Mother Nature, aka your wife who loves to garden. Because everybody's like, oh, could Tom Bombadil take the ring? He probably could, but he wouldn't want to.
Well, that was the whole thing. That's so many people.
Yeah.
They forget the awesomeness that is Tom Bombadil.
Well, that's why I said he's the self-insert character, but he's also God. Or at least he's like an avatar of God. Or at least he's the avatar of like the equivalent to God or something like that.
No, well, see, that was the funny part, is that in Silmarillion, it was the gods that created the realm using music.
Yep.
Oddly enough. And Morgoth was the one who was the discordant.
To be fair, that's Tolkien stealing Revelations. Not Revelations, Genesis.
Well...
And also C.S. Lewis, because him and Lewis were friends.
Oh yeah, but the thing is that it's not even based on Genesis.
I know. Well,
Genesis, God just said, let us create, let there be light. Let there be the heavens and the land.
Some interpretations of it are God sang the world into existence. Others are, no, he said, let there be light. Which is AKA, if you ever read C.S. Lewis's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series, Aslan creates Narnia and, well, our world in general by singing life into the world. Because it's a
Oh, I mean, fair
because
enough.
it's an allegory for the Bible.
Well, you gotta remember C.S. Lewis, if I remember correctly, originally was atheist.
Yeah. Well, him and Tolkien.
So for him to be...
He's... From what I can tell reading about him, he was probably one of those people who said he was an atheist, but he was more agnostic. It's just near the end of his life, he was kind of like, okay, fine.
Oh. To each their own.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge anybody for the.
That's
for
why
that.
I said reading him and Tolkien from that era where it's like, oh, we're atheists. What they really meant is they were agnostic. They didn't really have a specific religion they worshiped. They were just kind of like, cool.
Yeah.
Lewis just kind of started to move more towards it towards the end of his life.
Well, with the. Like. Carrying on with the Silmarillion, as I was talking about that, you got to remember that Tom Bombadil was there before the elves came to Middle-earth. Dwarves weren't supposed to be brought out yet.
Mm-hmm.
When one of the younger gods, because apparently the gods, from what I understood, the gods were, they had a father, and then he had his children, and his children were the ones who created the realm. One of them created dwarves from the mountains, and he was so proud of it. He wanted to show his dad, and he said, "Well, son, they can't be here just yet, but he didn't destroy them. He kept them inside the mountains until it was their time, and then that's why they're so what's the affinitive for, or have a massive affinity for mountains and caverns and things like that." But yeah, Tom Bombadil. I think Tom Bombadil might have actually been one of the old spiritual or spirit aides, the ones that helped the gods to tend to the world that was being created.
That's why I said I wasn't. It's one of those things where nobody can really define if he actually is the one true god of Middle Earth, or if he's like you said, he's one of the basically just. He's just the avatar, basically. But he's like the avatar or assistant, basically.
Yeah, well, I that's how I lean toward, because the thing is...
But his wife is Mother Nature, which I would say... Yeah.
Well, his wife was known as the Lady of the Lilies. Mm-hmm. She was actually apparently a elven princess. If I remember Lord of the Rings right.
Well, that's the thing. It's like she's something like that. She's like an elven princess, but then it's like she's also described as having the job of basically she tends to all forests, not just a single forest like different cities do. It's like no, all forests are hers.
Okay, yeah. See, fair enough. There you go.
That's why I said she's basically Mother Nature.
Well. Touche. But the fact that, because you gotta, like I said before, you gotta remember, there was only one spirit that actually stayed on the planet and was able to be seen by all, and yet never seen.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Sauron.
Yep.
Because you got to remember, Sauron was a
Yeah.
when Morgoth decided that he would ruin the world that his siblings created because they didn't want his music in and infecting it, he decided to go full blown edge lord.
Yeah, he, if I remember right, the one you mentioned, because I just literally forgot how to pronounce his name. He's basically the devil. Sauron is like. It's like.
Yes, Morgoth. Morgoth
Morgoth.
is essentially the devil.
Yeah, Morgoth is
And-
the devil. Sauron is like his general, but is also like a fallen angel.
Exactly. There you go. Sauron would be quite literally a general and one of the fallen. And for those that didn't know just how bad it was, the rest of his spirit assistants were so twisted at the end, they became Balrogs.
Yep.
Like, Sauron led an entire fucking legion of Balrogs. There wasn't just one. No, children.
Oh no, there's, I think in the books, if I remember right, they described that there was a few in Mordor, but you don't really see them doing anything.
No. As a matter of fact, where they were in Mordor, yeah, that wasn't what they had back in the day. Back in the day, there was like a true legion of them, along with the war hordes of orcs that were created by Morgoth capturing and twisting elves.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was elves or humans.
He was an asshole.
Oh yeah. And then also remember, Smaug's a baby.
Oh yeah, oh, so is Shelob. Shelob was a fucking baby too.
Yeah. But Smaug's the funnier one, because it's like, yeah, Smaug's a baby. His dad's literally the size of a fucking mountain.
Yeah. Though you never saw him, like
We only see like parts of him in the Silmarillion. I think we only see him if we do in the Silmarillion, and even then it's like just a mention of him more than anything.
I think so. The funnier part is like
the Silmarillion is it's basically just like it's telling you about all the ages up until the Hobbit. Because like, oh yeah, look, here's this like actual like D&D shit levels of things going on. Then we get to Middle-earth.
Oh shit! Could you imagine if D&D had existed back then? Tolkien would have been the one, and everything that happened was because of his friends and family playing.
Yes.
Oh my god, that would have been
to be fair,
fucking hysterical.
To be fair, that's literally what 1st through 3rd edition was just. Well, we can't get the rights to Lord of the Rings, but we're gonna poke as fucking close as we can. And then somebody said, "Hey, I read H.P. Lovecraft. This guy has some cool shit. Can we put Mind Flayers in?" What the fuck are those? Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Don't mind that he's a racist piece of shit. Just think, it's a thing that has tentacles for lips.
So this is the thing. This is where we can kind of deviate and talk about something interesting. He's a perfect example of separating the artist from the art because he's dead.
Agreed.
Because he's dead, we can now look at him in a perspective of we can see why he wrote things. But this is the interesting thing about it. If you remove... Yes. H.P. Lovecraft created the Cthulhu mythos. Here's the thing. Yes, he was racist, but then you understand why he was racist. He was afraid of fucking everything. So to him, like, when I say he was afraid of everything, he's like, wait, you can cool your house with this machine? Devil magic! That keeps you alive forever. Like, when you understand where he came from, also, towards the end of his life, he did actually tone down his racism and realize he kind of was a dick. Because when the fucking KKK is telling you, dude, calm the fuck down. you might be a little racist.
Yeah, I always thought that was so funny. I was like, dude, when a fucking group that is fucking notorious as the KKK tells you to calm your shit down, you're making them look good, you might want to take a step back and reassess some shit.
And that's the thing. Towards the end of it, he did actually. Oh no, that's the thing is you have to talk about. Because you have to talk about Lovecraft in this sense because you have to understand. He was afraid of everything. The only thing he was not afraid of was the house he grew up in, and even then he was still afraid of some stuff in that. And anybody who he grew up with, which was mostly white people. That's why he literally looked at it as, if you were from... It's like, if you were white and from Europe, he was scared of you. If you were any other race, he was scared of you. It's one of those things where if he had just been alive just a little bit longer and actually been able to like have like an actual psychologist and not some of the quacks back then during his days, he probably would have actually been able to get diagnosed and probably would have been like, you know, maybe you're not racist, you just need to take a few pills and probably like get some therapy.
Well, I will say that
Also, he was more than likely ace by modern time standards.
probably,
Well,
I don't know.
He had a fear of sex. That is why he has no direct kids.
Fair enough.
He has a sibling
No,
who had kids, who basically they still run the Lovecraft Foundation, but they're like, yeah, we
Right.
run it, quote unquote.
You know, that's something I figured you would actually get is the massive Cthulhu model that they had made a couple years back.
Don't tempt me. Listen, I've been wanting to figure out how to make a Blue Twitch version of a Call of Cthulhu campaign for a while, where instead of using instead of insanity, it would be, well, it still would be sanity. It's just some other interesting things would happen.
Oh, Lord. You sick monkey. Hey.
Listen, to be fair, it would be a Blue Twitch. I almost said what I actually meant. It's almost like
I know what you meant.
Oh no, I joke almost said it since we're on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody fucking knows what it is.
No, they don't. Yes, they do. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Call of Cthulhu game is amazing. First off, because it's not a D20 based system. It's a D100. So you're actually using proper. You're actually using proper percentage.
You have no idea how bad my rolls would be.
Oh, a 1 is good, a 100 is bad.
I'm never gonna survive.
Also, I don't decide what your roll is. Your sheet does. So when you're building when you build a Call of Cthulhu sheet, there is an easy roll, a normal roll, and a hard roll. All I do is I tell you it's going to be one of those three, and then on your sheet it has the points for it. All you have to do is roll under that number. And because it's a D100, as long as... Yeah. Also, there's ways to fudge roll. There's certain ways to fudge rolls, but there are certain actions where you can't attempt them a second time. Because it's like, well, you more than likely broke it. But also, Call of Cthulhu, the whole point is, if you played Cyberpunk, you kind of understand this. The Cyberpunk Red game.
Yeah.
You're trying to survive. But, more than likely, you get injured in combat. You're gonna regret it. So don't try and get into combat unless you have to. But if you do get into combat, look as cool as possible when you do it. That's Cyberpunk Red's mentality. Call of Cthulhu's mentality is, do not try to fight the cultists. They are probably better armed than you. Unless you're playing Project not Project Green, what the fuck is it called?
Project Huspa.
No, it's not
I
Project
don't know.
Green. It's something green. It's a reference to the Vietnam era.
I don't know.
Here, let me just go get fucking Chaosium, because it's an official Chaosium book.
Touche. Touche.
It's something... Man-eating crocodiles? Yes! We'll go with that. When did they make a universe? Oh, I bet that's their nice little fuck you to D&D. They made a game called a basic role-playing universal game engine, and I'm like, that sounds like a D&D agnostic game or like a Call of Cthulhu agnostic game. It's not Regency, because that's Victorian era. Is it not an official one? I thought it was. That's a new starter set. Fuck, I keep forgetting that. It's a fucking expensive book series. Oh no, that's a slip case set. Never mind,
Shit, most of them are.
Well, no, so they have a Mask of Nyarlathotep. It's a 3-book long campaign. And they're thick-ass fucking book. The hardcovers are thick-ass fucking books. And then there's Alone Against the Static, which is, they have a couple of these where they are literally, you have a D100, and it's a choose-your-own-adventure book. That is not all of them. There are some missing. It's not Pulp Cthulhu. Because Pulp Cthulhu's the one that's got more combat. So there's Call of Cthulhu, which is the 1920s. It's specifically like based during like the era he would have been writing his books. So it's up to you and your players to decide how accurate you want that to be. I tend to run it as this is kind of just an alternate timeline where we don't care about that shit. Because it's a lot easier than trying to fucking figure that shit out. And it makes everybody happy. Ooh, a time to harvest. That means... Okay. What is it? Okay, Vietnam something orange.
Only thing I remember that's orange is Agent Orange.
Agent Green.
Or Agent Orange.
That is the Vietnam era one, which has a lot more guns and stuff. Pulp Cthulhu and onwards, those are the ones where they have a lot more gun combat. And Pulp Cthulhu is a lot more like pulp magazines kind of stuff going on in it. But yeah, I'm trying to find, where the hell is it? But another cool thing about Call of Cthulhu, if you find an old Call of Cthulhu book, like an older edition book, unlike D&D, all versions from 1st to 7th edition are compatible with each other. You just have to. There's just like there's a little thing they have somewhere on their sheet where it literally is just like, here's how you tweak it. So it basically makes it to where they can take their time updating all the books.
Sorry.
I know, I'm trying to find it. I was trying to find it because it's like, I know... explore the Call of Cthulhu rules products. I have that Keeper's Tips book, because that's a fun one. I have the Quick Start Guide, I have the Get Started book. Goddamn, I'm gonna find it after we stop talking about it.
That's usually how it goes.
Oh yeah, they have
Like, man, I can't.
Yeah. It might not be Chaosium who makes that official book, but it is like endorsed by Chaosium. I do know that because they always have it when you're looking around. Ancient Green.
Right now, all I'm thinking about is just the excitement of finishing up
Delta
a
Green.
Ogroid Mirror.
Difference between Delta Green and something. Delta Green is not a game about agents fighting monsters, it's a game about how power turns ordinary people into monsters. By being set in our modern day world, just as Lovecraft's stories were set in his own present, Delta Green leverages the familiar and mundane not just as a backdrop to the fantastical adventures, but as an innocent that can be lost. The big antagonists are not gods and alien entities, it's the people who have been duped into giving up their humanity for the pittance of power. The heroes are not a ragtag. So basically, that's all Delta Green is. Delta Green is basically just somebody took all the rules for Call of Cthulhu and made them modern. Because yeah, Delta Green's its own thing. I thought it was like... I thought Chaosium made it. I guess... I don't know, I'm trying to look. It's still the D100 based system. Huh. Okay. I'll look into that more, because I need to look... That's going to bug me until I figure it out. I thought Delta Green was just... like Vietnam forward, so that makes more sense. Alright, fine. Because yeah, if you play Pulp Cthulhu, that's the one that gives you all the books and stuff that lets you actually like, oh hey, you actually want to shoot Cthulhu in the face? Here's how to do it. You're not going to win, but you can hurt him now. It'd be better to roll a seduction roll and hope for the best. Sorry, you got me. Sorry, I started nerding out about Call of Cthulhu because I really like that game because it's a really fun game.
No, you're fine. I love when people nerd out about things. It makes me smile.
Listen, I could talk about Bunkers and Badasses. That's another great system, and that's a D20. That's a simplified D20 system. That one, the reason it's so simplified is you, like in Borderlands, when you collect guns, you can collect all the different guns. Your stats do affect how the guns work, but for the most part, the card tells you. Like, here's what you have to roll to do this damage. Here's what you have to roll to do this damage. And some guns will have... So most guns, it's like their crit is a 20. Some guns, I think the crit is like an 18 or a 19. And it tells you what dice you're going to roll and how to roll. And it basically is somebody figured out how to... Somebody stripped down D&D to its very basics and then threw in a bunch of gunplay, which is great. To be fair, I think Lancer does it a little bit better. Because Lancer has a lot of flat rate damage stuff. Where it's just like, roll this d6. Oh, you're going to do 5 points heat damage. But not everybody wants to play... technically, it's more like Armored Core.
Oh,
With
okay.
how the combat's described. But it's somewhere between Armored Core and Gundam. With a man-made horror known as Horus. Who is an AI that basically exists outside of real space, but also is in real space. And basically threatened all of humanity at one point to basically go, okay, here's my 3 rules, and I will not come back. Don't try and merge human brains with computers. I forget the other... don't try and merge human brains with computers. Don't try and put an AI into a human body. And... I forget what the third one was, but basically whenever he sees one of those 3 things happens, the fucking moon he stole from Mars will appear over a planet menacingly until the person either turns over what they were doing, or it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna release all this reality-bending shit on your planet, destroy the planet, and just go whoop, 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 and disappear.
Lord.
Oh, also, at some point, he was split into... somehow they were able to make 5 copies of him that are each like a split piece of his personality, and that's where all AIs in the known universe come from. And they're kept inside what's called coffins, and if they ever start thinking too hard, they don't destroy themselves. What happens is they basically question reality, and they become godlike beings, like Horus. Oh, also, none of the mechs for Horus look like what the pictures look like. But there's one that... There's one... yeah, yeah, Rajanka. There's one mech, you don't actually get into a cockpit. What happens is, when you look like you're entering it, you're actually getting teleported to you don't know where. Most likely it's in slip space, or whatever it's called in, I forget what it's called in, Lancer. And your control... I'm aware. I know who Richard Gray is. We are the Unity. I couldn't do that voice if I wanted to try it, because I can't swing my pitch that easily. But yeah. God, don't get me started on the fucking Master, because the Master, it's like, hi, I want to start this thing called Unity. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's where we're going to make all of humanity, like, have a connected consciousness so that we can all work as one entity. Oh, how are we going to do that? Oh, I'm just going to consume everybody's brain and basically turn into this giant mass, and anybody who my body rejects is just going to get turned into a super mutant. Hopefully your genetics are good enough that you keep your intelligence. If not, you're getting probably turned into a centaur. And I'm still going to probably eat you later. That's his whole thing, is he wants to create unity. It's like, oh, that almost sounds great. Oh, how are we going to create this unity? I'm going to eat you.
can't believe the
And
time.
he's voiced by Jim Cummings. That does not surprise me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Look, sweetie, have a wonderful night. I
Listen, I've
did
got
not
4 or
realize.
5 more minutes. I'm fine. You just gave me an excuse to kind of stretch out for an hour instead of. I should have changed the stream into just chatting, but.
Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't think about it. I just looked over and I realized it still said art, and I'm like, whoop.
Whoopsie.
Well, no shit, nobody's ever gonna beat Frank Horrigan. Fucking Frank Horrigan. Even after having his bottom half exploded off, is still trying to kill you.
Well, look, you all have a wonderful night. Play me out, Jerry.
I'll clip that later in seconds. Yeah, no, Frank Horrigan is, by all standards, probably the most terrifying person. The Legate thinks he's as terrifying as him. The closest who gets to Frank is probably... I'm trying to think of who gets close to, like, Frank Horrigan and, like, terrifying, like, presence, and I'm like... Graham gets close. Graham gets close, but Graham is also, like, he's up his own ass sometimes. Depending on how you're doing his play. Depending on how you're doing your playthrough with him, he's up his own ass sometimes. At least he's not fucking... Nope. We're not gonna go fucking complain about Ulysses. Nope. I could literally rant about that fucker for the entire night. The bear and the bull. Shut the fuck up! The Legate wishes he was that terrifying. The Legate is only terrifying because he's got a badass suit of armor you cannot steal and wear. Because he's only in that one area. And you can't get to that area till the Battle of the Hoover Dam. The Legate is only intimidating because he's this fucking giant of a man. But he has no drive, whereas Horrigan, I think if it wasn't for the oil rig exploding, if he had survived, I think he would have been in Fallout Van Braun with robot legs. If he had somehow survived the explosion. The Legate, on the other hand, I have a feeling if he got injured enough, he'd be like, for Caesar, I cannot do this anymore. They can't. He's dead. Like, there is no fucking way he survived that fucking explosion. Technically, there's no way he survived that explosion if you killed him the normal way. If you killed him fast enough, I think a different cutscene happens. It's not a perfect science, though. And technically, he's Enclave, and as much as Bethesda keeps trying to bring the Enclave back just for us to defeat them again, there's a certain point where we have to let the Enclave die and let somebody else take their place. To be fair, that's kind of where the Brotherhood's fucking going at this point with Fallout 4. Well, Maxon's Brotherhood, the East Coast. Okay. To be fair, the game we're getting with Doom is a prequel. This is during the era where he's fighting in hell for that 10,000 years or whatever, before he gets all the cool demon fighting powers. Or just after he gets all the cool demon fighting powers. So what I feel like it's probably going to happen is we're either going to get a nerfed Doom guy, Doomslayer, who by the end of it will be close to the power he was in Doom Eternal, or they're just going to be like, nah, fuck it, you get all this cool shit from Doom Eternal, but now you get to see it at its full potential. And we always knew there was going to be one more Doom game. We just didn't know how they were going to do it. Because the original intention was it was supposed to be a trilogy. And then Doom Eternal was basically like, we'll finish the story in DLC. Because the only other thing I could think is if this is not a prequel and this takes place after the DLC, this is them that was them speeding up the timeline so that they could actually get to this game. If this game ends up somehow not being a prequel. So, but to get back to the cloning thing, cloning is a thing in the Fallout universe, but oh god, no, don't you dare! I think that's a sign we maybe should end the stream. My legs started to cramp. Okay. Cloning is a thing, but it's not very good. Gary comes to mind. Because here's the thing, if that was the case, House would have probably had the ability to clone himself a new body. If cloning actually worked. Though, to be fair, I don't think House actually wants a new body. I think House wants to just be an immortal inside a computer situation. We'll save that for a discussion next time. Let's see here. Holy shit, we actually did a 3-hour stream for once. It's been forever since we've done one of those. Let's see, who are our options? I'm not saying it's not possible, it's just I think at this point, Sweetie, with the Frank Horrigan, it's probably best to just let Frank stay dead. From a plot convenience situation. Besides, nobody would really want to bring Horrigan back except for the Enclave, and even then, the Enclave is not as organized as it was during that time. Aw, and I thought Anne was going to still be streaming. Or wait, is Anne still streaming? Never mind, I just saw stream ended. Alright, let's see here. Alright, to anybody who is lurking or active in chat, would anybody like to guide the raid? I would say if they were somebody we raided within the last let's go 3 weeks. I might be willing to do somebody if it's somebody does a guide the raid. Let's say, was Sneaky Bear still streaming? Alright. Oh, pun! I was like, why the fuck is there not a name in here? Alright. Alright, I'm going to send you all over to Sneaky Bear. We should be back tomorrow with a Blue Twitch stream where we're going to try and beat a little bit more Flipwitch. We will see. If not, we'll do something else. It's Blue Twitch, who knows? But I hope you all have a good evening, and I hope you all get a good rest. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope to see you again real soon. Bye, my lovelies.
Yeah.
I'm already familiar with the mechanics, so I should be able to adapt to any
Oh, snap.
strategies and exploits.
Greg, give us the